20 seconds ago. Here, I'll count it down if that'll help. Two. That sounds weird. After that, quote, preseason, if you will. And so a little bit of a time off, a little bit of a delay before San Juan will head into the postseason, but they're going to take care of business here tonight first and foremost. This is a team that's done a great job this year not looking past any opponents, and we don't expect them to do that here tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Night Lights pregame show. Rhett Sifford welcoming you in to Blanding, the site of our matchup tonight, and Art Adair alongside as we do a little bit of a preview of these two teams as we head into, Art, what is a storied history between a couple of rivals, and this goes back to 1956. San Juan has had the edge of late. They have the all-time lead in the series, 47 wins to 31. The Broncos have won 4 in a row, 8 of the last 10, and 16 of the last 19. In fact, they've dominated these past couple years, of course, 67-0 a couple years ago, 47-0 last year. But in the early stages of this rivalry, it was largely Grand County. They smoked San Juan for, I think it was like 15 years in a row where the Broncos weren't able to win. So this is a rivalry that goes back a lot of years.
Yeah, this is a team for Grand that's, they've fallen off. They don't have the numbers. They still got big kids and size-wise, but they don't have the numbers, and it's hard to compete with these schools that have the numbers. And plus, you get so many more athletes at San Juan than anywhere else. And, you're right, though. Usually you look at San Juan versus other teams, and it's a little lopsided on the win-loss, and this one's 47-31. And that tells you right there that this Grand County team, maybe not in recent history, but in the past, has been a force. I mean, they've won a state title, under Coach Wells. They've been a great team. When I was in high school, they were tougher than nails. I remember playing them many times. And so they're just trying to find how to get back into that niche. And I don't know what the answer is. And obviously, they tried a new coaching staff for 1 year, didn't work out. Came back. Coach Wells graciously took the team back over, which is hard to do. I'm sure that he's been in coaching for a long time, and he's, sometimes you just want to hang it up and walk away. But he loves these kids. He loves the program, and you got to love a guy for that.
Well, speaking of Dennis Wells, this is the second year of his second stint, 21st overall. So he's in his 21st season. He's got a 105 and 118 record with Grand County. They did win the state championship back in 2005 under his leadership. So obviously he has a lot of experience, but again, Grand County a little bit down these days. We don't have an interview with Coach Wells. They were in the locker room when I was needing to handle that, so we don't get a chance to talk with Coach Wells tonight, unfortunately. But Austin Paris is the quarterback, a sophomore coming in. He has 44% completion rate this year. He's 47 of 108, 8 touchdowns on the year. Let's see, 762 passing yards, 8 interceptions. So he's got 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. But, Art, this is that wing T offense style, and so this is going to be a heavy run offense.
Yeah, this isn't a go down the field and score every play kind of offense like we see in the spread or the flex even. This is a grind it out, control the clock, low-scoring game, which we seen last week, can work against a team, because once a team like San Juan gets up on you, it's really hard to build momentum and come back and take the lead. But Coach Wells has been running the wing tee for a long time, and he knows how to run it. If there's any coach in the state of Utah that is familiar, and I would say almost an expert on the wing tee, it's Coach Dennis Wells. And you talk about Austin Parrish, the quarterback, sophomore. This is a kid that off the football field on the wrestling mat is a flipping stud. I mean, this kid can beat anybody and their mother. I mean, he is one heck of an athlete. And so, excuse me, you don't have to throw a lot when you're running the wing tee, but he's just a heck of an athlete, a good kid, a kid that reaches out to other kids throughout the off season, and helps them perform, get better at what they need to do. I know him personally. I know his family. Just a great kid, and a kid you like to see success for, and hopefully with the wing tee they can get that going and have some success.
Well, just take a step back real quick. Just talk about Grand in general, and a team that's been struggling. You look at it, the last 4 seasons, they have just 4 wins and 23 losses. So, obviously a tough matchup for them here tonight. They'd really love to reverse that on this field here tonight and get the hugest upset of maybe school history. But obviously San Juan heavily favored here tonight. Just looking at this running game, and Austin Parrish happens to be the leading rusher as well. He has 108 carries this season, 387 yards, and 3 TDs. JT Dowd, I guess, is the main running back. He's got 57 carries, 371 yards with 2 TDs. Connor Swayze actually has as many carries, 57, with 252 yards and 2 TDs. So those are the 3 main guys who are getting it done in the running game. Receiving-wise, and we already mentioned, it's not a whole lot of passing game for Grand County, but Lane Berry is a senior. He's the leading receiver with 21 catches, 308 yards, and 5 touchdowns. JT Dowd has 18 catches, 290 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and Connor Swayze has 4 catches, 132 yards, and 1 TD. So, you got kids who are doing it in both facets of the game. You got them running and receiving passes.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of kids over there on the Grand team, so you're going to use them in multiple aspects of your game plan. The other thing, and I chuckle a little, you said, if they were to come in and win this game, and I don't chuckle because I chuckle because I look over there and there's not a lot of fans in the stands.
Right.
But if they were to win this game, I guarantee you every one of those fans is rushing the field tonight. it'll be a sight to see.
10 people out.
And that's the
trying
thing.
to tear down the goalpost out here.
And for Grand, they've struggled, like you said, the last couple of years. This year they've won 1 game. They've struggled mightily this year.
Yeah.
But kudos to those kids that continue to come out, continue to strap on the shoulder pads, and give their heart to Coach Wells and to play football. Because at the end of the day, you want kids that are there for the right reasons, and you want kids that want to come out and play football. And that's what they got at Grand. They got a bunch of good kids, and they just don't have enough, or something, whatever is missing is missing. And, you love those kids because you love the fact that they're willing to step on that field and go against some of the best teams in 2A.
Yeah. Well, Austin Parrish is definitely getting it done on both sides of the ball. Not only is he the quarterback, he's a leading rusher. He's also got 6 interceptions on defense this year. So they're really obviously looking to him as a sophomore for leadership. That's pretty impressive role for the sophomore this year. So, and we heard from you, Art, that he's amazing on the wrestling mat as well. So we'll have a lot of fun tonight watching Austin Parrish, I think, as Grand County comes in here to Blanding tonight trying to shock the 2A football world. That's a look at the Grand County Red Devils as we get set to go here tonight. Again, they come in ranked number 11 in 2A. This is by virtue of the RPI only, and they are 1-6 on the season, 0-2 in region play, but really region play is kind of moot these days with the RPI. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back on the pregame show, as we'll switch gears and talk about the hometown San Juan Broncos looking for their 33rd win in a row here tonight. We're glad you've joined us. Friday Night Light pregame show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, coming to you live from Blanding. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay with us. Football approaching, you start to get verklempt. watch this. I'm going to have to open up my newspaper article to get some stuff I wrote down.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County. Let's do this!
Because the teams you played.
That's right.
It makes no. It's
weird.
not justice. And so if that, we talked about it earlier, if that's the way they're going to work the system, then get rid of the region play, let teams schedule their own games,
right,
so they can schedule tougher teams. But at the end of the day, the RPI to me, you know, other than maybe you play a tougher team in the semifinals than you should, maybe two teams that should meet in the state championship game meet in the state if you don't have the RPI.
Right.
The best team's going to win it regardless. They're going to have to win to get there. So.
It tends to work out in the wash. It tends to be the actual top 4 teams in the semifinals and in the finals. So it tends to work out, but it would be neat to maybe see something more along the lines of college football where you just have the whole group of 2A teams playing each other, let the standings decide the playoffs. But at least right now it's still RPI, and of course that was only instituted a couple years ago. But we'll see how it works out. This is the second year in a row that if San Juan wins out and South Summit wins out, it's going to be South Summit #1 and San Juan #2 entering the playoffs this year. So that's just how it is. But let's take a look at these San Juan Broncos. And, of course, 32 wins in a row now. Barkley Christensen in his 7th year moves to 58-19 with the big lopsided win over South Sevier last week. We got a chance to talk with head coach Christensen just a few minutes ago. Here's what he has to say as his team gets set to take on the local rival Grand County Red Devils here tonight.
Once again, parents, please.
a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County. Let's do this!
Blue Mountain Hospital is offering in-hospital and at-home dialysis, advanced sleep study clinics, pain management, hip and joint replacements, and cutting-edge radiology, including 3D mammograms. We're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk.
Bronco herd by uniting in Bright as a school to reduce the risk of suicide and drug and alcohol abuse. Thanks to San Juan Counseling, for partnering with the San Juan Broncos this week. So that's what's going on. That's why the team is wearing hot pink tonight. Just wanted to take some time out during the Friday Night Lights pregame show to mention that. We've still got quite a bit of warm-up time to go, or pregame count-off, I should say, I guess, since we do have senior night tonight, so they're honoring all the seniors. And last year, the team was filled with juniors, Art. This year, got a lot more seniors on the team.
There's a lot of seniors down there, Rhett, and, you know, all of them quality seniors that they're going to miss next year. But they've got a lot of juniors this year. They're going to fill some big shoes next year, I'm sure. But, yeah, I think they look pretty sharp out there in that hot pink.
All right, well, let's just take a look at these San Juan Broncos. And, of course, we've said so much this year. Parker Snyder and Zach Conway, really the two-headed monster this year that's become nearly undefendable, at least for sure in San Juan's league in the 2A South. Parker Snyder, 121 for 172 on the year. That's over a 70% completion rate. He's got almost 2,000 yards passing, 1,890, 100,000. That'd be something to write home about for sure. 25 touchdowns for Parker this year and just 3 interceptions. Of course, he threw one last week, but Zach Conway in the running game leading the way, 94 carries, 935 yards for him, and he's averaging almost 10 yards a pop, 18 touchdowns for the senior running back. Parker Snyder, the second leading rusher, 62 carries, 541 yards, 10 touchdowns for the quarterback. In the receiving game, Jake Ivins leading with 519 yards. He's got 34 catches and 6 touchdowns. averaging almost 15.5 yards per catch. Brigham Nielsen actually has a higher average, 16 yards per catch, right on the nose. 24 catches, 383 yards for the senior. Speaking of seniors, and he's got 3 touchdowns on the year. Zach Conway, Art, out of the backfield, has just been so amazing this year. Just his two-headed attack, 361 yards receiving on 17 catches, 5 touchdowns. He's averaging over 21 yards a catch this year.
Yeah, just phenomenal. I mean, what can you say about that? I mean, speechless.
Not only when he catches the ball, then he's got a head of steam built up, so you don't want to stand in his way either. So.
Yeah, he's a freight train.
And Javen Montella, there was a couple games ago, I remember up at Judge Memorial, that Parker Snyder and Javen Montella were an undefendable duo. Montella's been a little bit quieter since that game, but still 15 catches on the year, 239 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So he's tied for the touchdown lead among receivers. Anthony Doan is 5th. He's still not dressed out here tonight, unfortunately, for the Broncos, but 19 catches for Doan, 224 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So that's a look offensively at these San Juan Broncos. Defense-wise, Jake Ivins leading with 68 tackles. He's got 10 tackles for loss. J.D. Palmer has 53 stops. Trace Bennett, 48. Jordan Duke, 45. Jayton Knight has 42, and Knight also has 10 tackles for loss. Zach Conway, the big running back / receiver, is not up in the top 5 among tackles, but he is the 3rd leading tackler for loss. Actually, he's tied with J.D. Palmer. They both have 7 tackles for loss on the year, so getting it done defense-wise also. And there's so many takeaways for the Broncos this year now, Art. It's getting hard to mention them pregame. They have 20 takeaways on the season, and in 7 games, that's pretty good. That's almost 3 per game.
Yeah, that defense has a nose to find the ball, and they go pick it out. They pick up the fumbles, and they cause a lot of turnovers too. And so, just a opportunistic defense for San Juan.
You figure if you're taking the ball away 3 times against your opponent per game, that opponent really has no chance. 3 turnovers a game is not good for an opposing team, that's for sure.
And I would like to know the stat from the man, the myth, the legend, Rhett Sifford. How many of those takeaways resulted in offensive points? Or I know a couple defensive. So we had a scoop and score.
Yep.
We had a pick 6. How many of those resulted in the offense then going out there and scoring because of that turnover? I would wager at least 95%.
Yeah, I also would wager. It is a high percentage, that's for sure. But we'd have to go back and scour some game footage for that, I think. So if we want to know officially on that. So they continue to honor the seniors here tonight. It's a big group of folks out there. Obviously, both cheerleaders and players for the San Juan Broncos here tonight. So now I think they'll head back beyond this inflatable tunnel that they traditionally run out of. And as they land the drone, they had some drone footage going on out here for senior night.
You talk about the seniors leaving, and they were juniors last year and seniors here. But Jake Ivins, a sophomore last year, didn't talk much about him, if at all. And then this year he steps up along with J.D. Palmer. Yep. You've got so many of those juniors, and that's what a program like San Juan does. It lets those freshmen be freshmen, play against kids their size, their ability, learn the skills they need, develop within their own, because we all know how kids change from freshman to junior to junior year. And then as sophomores playing in a JV system, and then by the time they're juniors, man, they're ready to go because they've got 2 years of fundamental base football and just an established program underneath them that they hit the ground as a junior like, wow, where was that kid, where's he been,
Yeah.
It's awesome to watch because we watch these kids and we say, oh, man, how are you going to replace that senior? And then we've been doing it for 3 years now. How are you going to replace that senior? And the next year, another senior. How are you going to replace that senior? And that's a lot of credit to a program that is building kids from freshman to sophomore so that when they get to be a junior, they're productive. And it's fun to watch.
Well, as a former coach, the turnover, obviously, in high school sports is incredible. It's rare to have what San Juan has this year, which is an entire almost varsity team returning from last season. That's pretty rare. Usually you lose a lot of guys every year.
Yeah, and that's, don't want to understate that, but at the same time, I think San Juan's in a good spot. And Coach Christian mentioned his first 2 years, Moab beat him, and he took his lumps the first couple of years. And it took him a couple of years to get his program the way he wanted it run.
Yeah.
Not saying that the program's because Coach Lee's program was awesome. Coach Burtonshaw before him was awesome. but everyone has their own little stamp on the game.
Right.
And it takes you a while to find out where your stamp is.
Yeah.
And he's done that, and that's what you see in the San Juan Broncos.
Well, you may have heard the cannon, speaking of the San Juan Broncos, as they run out sporting the American flags in a big group. Very beautiful when they come out on the field, and now shadows across the field even before we begin the game. So for the first time this season, the field all dark with the lights on before we get set to go. And, of course, yeah, Art, you know, you look back when Barkley started, they were 4-7 in his first year. And so he has built it. And the thing about when you're doing the right things, you start to build some wins, you start to attract some people, to attract players, and so then you've got JV people coming up. We're going to take a break. We've got the national anthem right now. Stay with us. We'll return to Friday Night Lights from Blanding on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Hi, my name is Sean Ivins. I'm a rancher, husband, and father. Family bonding and spending time together is really important to me. Research shows that teens who regularly eat as a family 5 to 7 times per week are 33% less likely to use alcohol and 50% less likely to commit suicide. Bonding is essential in preventing underage drinking and substance misuse. Children are less likely to drink when their parents are involved in their lives, and when children and parents feel close to each other. Take time daily to talk with your kids about their
Black sister, so a nice job by Emery here tonight to get us underway as the teams head to their respective sidelines. And boy, Art, you look across the way and there are not a whole lot of Grand County Red Devils over there. Meanwhile, you got a gaggle of blue and yellow over here on the San Juan sideline.
You know, one of the things that was talked about on Facebook a lot this week between San Juan fans was a few memes that went around on social media about how you travel 45 minutes to play an away game and none of your fans show up. And San Juan has always had, at least in recent memory, as far as I can remember, 46 years, a great fan base to travel 6 hours for a game. And at home, it's just, there's a reason why they have an extension onto these bleachers over here. But, yeah, hopefully those Grand County folks are at home listening to us on the radio.
Yeah, I was talking to the young man who's doing the broadcast for KCYN here tonight for Grand County, and he said, I asked if he traveled with the team. He said he elected not to go to Meeker because it was a long way away, Meeker, Colorado. I said, yeah, we had our station owner, Bill Boyle, on the morning show this past week talking about between Monticello and San Juan, we've done over 4,500 miles round trip to cover these teams this year. So it's just, we're so used to it. People from other areas I don't think understand. I know they don't understand at the Wasatch Front what we do down here. They don't care about us, but we don't care. San Juan's goal is to win a third straight state championship this season, regardless of what folks think. And guess what? They're going to have to travel a lot of miles to do it. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems I think Coach Christian has with getting teams to come here is teams just don't want to travel. And so if you don't have the state through the regions set those up and set them up quality-wise and require teams to go to you end up with what we have in 2 weeks here. We have a week 10 bye, followed up by probably a week, first week of the playoff bye, which can be good and can be bad, you know. I mean,
yeah, it's going to end up probably being a 3-week period where San Juan won't play football.
But travel is a thing of, you know, a thing we do.
Yeah, we're just used to it down here for sure. And then there's also a possibility that San Juan would face Delta in back-to-back games, depending on how things wash out in the standings as well. So it could be interesting come playoff time. I didn't see what happened. Maybe you noticed what looks like San Juan is going to be receiving the football. And so it's a beautiful night here at San Juan High School as we get set to go. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Health, Car Shop Auto Body, Colleen Kays, the author of The 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, Red Mechanical, San Juan Building Supply, Flights Gymnastics, Northern Electric, Red Mesa Home Health, and Emory Telcom. A huge thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Of course, we could not do it without you. And a big thanks as we get set to go. San Juan wearing hot pink socks and undershirts out there for Unite in Bright. Getting set to receive this opening kick here tonight. And the Grand County Red Devils, by the way, San Juan back in their traditional home uniforms with the blue jerseys, yellow numbers, and white trim, yellow helmets, white pants. Grand County in all white with the red numbers and then red helmets. Their traditional road uniforms. So it'll be Grand County set to kick this one away. And it is number 9, it looks like, who's going to be doing the honors. That is Lane Peterson, and that is not the man I thought was their PAT guy. And the kickoff is away, and it's going to be received and then pitched back. I think Trace Bennett got it, then pitched it back to Brigham Nielsen. And the Broncos are going to get a good return all the way back out across midfield for Brigham Nielsen as he will take it back into Grand County territory. And the Broncos are going to start at the Red Devil 45, it looks like. So a good return for Brigham Nielsen.
And a lot of freshmen on that Grand County team. You know, I noticed a couple of them that I know personally out there on that kickoff, and so that tells you the kind of the plight that Grand's in is player-wise is, you know, this type of game, and you've got a freshman out there on your kickoff team. You're putting a lot of faith in those kids.
So here goes the San Juan offense, starting with excellent field position. Parker Snyder will sling it to, guess who? Javen Montella, and early on, he's going to go the distance from 45 yards. It's a touchdown pass and catch for Parker Snyder to Javen Montella, and you hear the cannon. That's the second time they get to launch it here tonight already, and it is 6-0, 20 seconds into this one. Wow.
You know, I talked to you go ahead and call this PAT, and then I'll tell that story.
I got a chance to stand right behind Trip Palmer while he was working on the PATs tonight and just working on his fundamentals, and he has been the go-to guy PAT-wise for San Juan these past 3 games. He was 8 of 8 last week against South Sevier, and he starts 1 of 1 here tonight, makes it 7-0. Again, just 20 seconds into this one, the Broncos up by a TD and an extra point already.
So we may run into this tonight. I'm sure we probably will. And I was asked this week by one of the Bronco fans, running into one of them, hey, how come they don't play their younger kids earlier in the game in these in the blowout type of games? And this is what happens when you play teams like San Juan, and like Coach Barkley said, hey, you got to come out to win, and you got to put a quality team out there. It's not San Juan's, it's not their, what's the word I'm looking here for, Mr.
It's not their responsibility. It's not their fault.
That's right, to go out there and not. But this is a varsity game, and these varsity kids need varsity action. You have JV games, you have C-team games. Varsity kids need varsity time. And if you only play a half of varsity every week, it doesn't refine you. It doesn't get you better. And you might go score every play like that just did. But at the end of the game, end of the day, these varsity kids need varsity minutes because you can only practice against your seconds so much in a week. You have to hit other kids. You have to see other things. And that's just how it goes sometimes in football.
Yeah, and that's what the challenge is going to be at the end of the season for San Juan if they do indeed have a full 3-week period off. As Trip Palmer will kick it away for San Juan here. And not a very long kick is going to come down at the 16-yard line. It'll be returned back up to the 28 by the Red Devils. And we'll get to see Grand County's offense for the first time tonight.
Jose Santana there on the return for the Devils.
I wanted to mention in the pregame and forgot, San Juan has outscored their opponents this year 398-91 coming into this game. If you take off the Layton Christian game. It's 332-48.
I think I read that somewhere this week. I'm pretty sure I saw that on SJRnews.com.
A little bit of San Juan record action, huh? A little sister company. I was going to take a look at Trip Palmer's stats, but didn't get a chance to do that. I forgot to write him in this week for some reason. Here's Grand County on the scramble. Oh, man, there's a Jayton Knight in the face of the quarterback. And that's actually not the quarterback. That was.
No, that was. He did a reverse
okay,
wheel. He faked the handoff, reverse wheeled out, and then but Conway and Ivins, man, right there in his face.
So I've got a wrong number then, I guess. Is 12 Austin Paris?
Looks like that's who's trotting out the quarterback, number 12. What do they have him at?
I got him as number 1, so that's why I'm confused. And I've got no number 12 in there. So I don't know if maybe we can check on a roster.
Yep, that's Austin, number 12.
All right, so you know him by face.
You betcha.
There you go. All right, so Austin Paris wearing number 12, and he took a big loss on first down. Now throws complete to the right side to get 5 of those yards back, but it looks like he lost about 10-plus yards on the initial play. I'm going to say probably about 11 yards, and then threw complete to the far side. I didn't see who caught that. Did you see? Maybe we can get a replay.
It's coming. Branton Bethay with a big stick on that, though. I mean, it was right when the ball got there. Nice hit by Branton. Nice square up. Nice form tackle.
And it does make it 3rd down and long for Grand County. Looks like Tucker Fry was the man who caught the ball. That was a 5-yard pitch and catch. And so we'll see what Grand County can do here on 3rd down. And Paris throws complete again, this time to number 22. And that'll go for another 6-7 yards maybe, but it will be 4th down. Actually, that's gonna be about a 7-yard catch. So Paris starts the night 2 of 2, but unfortunately, I think Grand's gonna be forced to punt here.
Well, Austin's shown those couple of first passes that he's got a good arm and he can, read a defense. Obviously, the wing tee's not meant for that, but maybe Coach Wells is going to let him use his arm and throw the ball a little bit.
Oh, and the punt, San Juan nearly got to it. And so the punt goes straight up in the air and now takes a Grand County bounce. And it'll give San Juan worse field position than they had when they started on the opening kickoff tonight. They're going to be at their own 45-yard line this time. 9:32 to go in the opening quarter, so we are not quite, we're just over or just shy of 2.5 minutes in. And already San Juan leads 7-0, and they're getting the football back right here.
Yeah, and this is one of those where you can control the flow of the game. So if there's any time your special teams coordinator wants to try to block one, even if you run into the kicker, this is the game you want to try to do that.
So the San Juan offense on the field for the second time tonight. Parker Snyder goes to the air, left side to Jake Ivins. He slips a tackle as it's complete. Now down the sideline, he slipped another tackle, but he'll step out of bounds after a 12-yard gain. So a 1st down for San Juan. Back-to-back completions for Parker Snyder. This one doesn't go for a touchdown, though.
And for Grand County, a nice read there by Austin Paris coming up. Just couldn't secure the tackle, but he read that perfectly. He knew exactly where the ball was going.
Yeah, and as we said, he's got 6 interceptions on the year, so you got to watch out for him on defense. Snyder will throw complete to Nielsen, Brigham Nielsen, and he'll be slung. I guess his arms were down, but another 13-yard pickup for San Juan on the left side.
Yeah, 1 elbow or forearm equals 2 knees. So
there you go.
You put that forearm down, you're down.
And so Parker Snyder just picking his receivers right now as the Broncos get a new set of downs once again. They're just marching it down the field. And now they'll finally hand off to Zach Conway, and he's going to make no mistake. He'll go in off right tackle from 30 yards out for the Broncos' second touchdown of the night. No flags on the field. We're still not quite 3 minutes in. And a 13-0 lead as they shoot the cannon again here tonight. A big 30-yard touchdown run for Zach Conway. And again, I have hardly had a chance to breathe here offensively for San Juan, but Javen Montella has taken the touchdown lead among receivers with his touchdown catch. He's got 7. Now Zach Conway, 19 TDs on the ground this season. Trip Palmer nails the PAT again, so he's 2 of 2 tonight. And 10 of 10 in the last couple games, and the Broncos lead 14-0. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back out to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live with San Juan leading 14-0.
Blue Mountain Hospital is offering in-hospital and at-home dialysis, advanced sleep study clinics, pain management, hip and joint replacements, and cutting-edge radiology, including 3D mammograms. We're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. 3 minutes into this one here tonight at San Juan High School. San Juan already up 2 touchdowns, and now Grand County trying to return a San Juan kick, but that's not going to go very far. They'll give them forward progress at about the 24-yard line, so we'll see the Grand County offense here once again.
Yeah, Jose Santana for Grand met immediately by Justice Black when he picked up that ball, and Justice is a big dude. You know, I don't want to come up with the ball and look up, the first thing I see is Justice in my face. That's for sure.
It's like a wall running at you. Why do I know the name Jose Santana? Was there a Jose?
There used to be a Jose that played for Monticello.
I thought so. Yeah, but I'm not sure. At any rate, here is Austin Paris, the sophomore quarterback, getting hit as he throws, and it went off the back of somebody over on the far side and falls incomplete. Boy, right now, Austin Paris, not a whole lot of time back there to even think about doing anything, and that's his first incompletion of the night, though.
No, but the ball still came out good. His only problem was his receiver wasn't ready, and there was 4 blue jerseys right around him.
Threw right into quadruple coverage, and I'll tell you what, his receivers are going to have to be ready right when they start running because he's just got 0 time back in that backfield right now. 2nd and 10 for Grand County from their own 24. Clock is stopped with 8:57 to go in the first quarter.
They've left the wing tee.
Going with a little bit of spread here. And Paris will throw complete to the right side, 4 yards, 5 yards maybe. Once again on the catch, Tucker Fry.
And I think if you're Coach Wells, you know, you've seen the Austin, and obviously didn't see any film on them this last week from their first games, but from what I've seen so far, Austin can sling the rock, and he's very accurate, comes out of his hand very quick. He's got a good read. I'm thinking, hey, this might be, you know, the offense for Austin Paris for the next couple years. I would like to see him go a little quicker and not huddle up, but when you're a base wing tee offense, you may not have that, as most of those players are wearing armbands, so call them playing the huddle is the way you got to go.
2 split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Looks like Paris is going to keep it himself. Now throws on the run and goes through the fingertips of Romeo Williams. I was hoping to be able to call that guy's name tonight. Hope it's not Romeo. If it is, I stand corrected. But
still a good pass. I mean, it was a catchable ball for Romeo, just a little bit off his fingertips, but under the pressure that Paris was under, man, that's the best option you can think of right there. Not a sack, not a pick six, and hopefully a better punt.
So yeah, indeed, Grand County forced to punt again. This is going to be a little bit better punt. It'll come down at the 45. Fielding it on the bounce, almost muffing it, was Branton Bethay, but he's able to get about 5 yards out of it on the return as he tried to secure that football on the run. And the Broncos, once again, are going to start right around a 45-yard line, this time back on their own side of midfield again. They'll spot it at the 48 this time.
And the first time this game, they've started on their side of the field. Not by much, but
well, no, they did their last drive. This is their 3rd drive now. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
So they started over here the first time, and then back here on their own 45, and now on their own 48. So now Bethay will pitch on the run to Zach Conway, and he's going to go down the sideline to the 20, 10, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 10, it looks like. So that is a huge pickup. That'll be 43 yards, it looks like, down around the 9-yard line. 1st and goal for San Juan. I'd hate to get into a wrestling match with you. I see that I've put you in shock here.
No, that play right there, I'm just
it's
thinking,
impressive.
Holy cow, how do you stop them?
Yeah, Grand County with their hands full tonight, that's for sure. Well, here's the first tackle for short yardage as Parker Snyder keeps it himself. He does rumble down near the goal line to the 2, so actually they're going to spot it at the 1 or maybe even the 6-inch line, so Snyder almost took that in. But that's 8 yards for the senior quarterback.
And that's where you see Parker he was perplexed. He had a wide open pitch on the option to Conway, but he wanted that end zone, so he kept the ball.
And this time, guess what? He'll hand off, and who is this with the carry?
Yummy.
And diving in? Are you kidding me? Yummy with a touchdown as 55, Taylor Black carries. I mean, that's like Refrigerator Perry going into the end zone for the San Juan offense right there.
That's
I got to go deep in the roster here to put that down.
That's a coach that knows that young man has played his guts out for the last 2 years on this team, been a stud on the offensive defensive line, and is like, hey, you know what? You want 6? We'll give you 6.
Well, I got to see. That's a 1-yard touchdown run for Taylor Yummy Black. And Trip Palmer, just like clockwork, adds the extra point again. So he's 3 of 3 tonight. Taylor Black, I'm just assuming his first touchdown run of the season. Indeed, that's the case.
And he dove for that, Rhett.
He did.
You weren't denying him that touchdown.
We felt. I think that measured on the Richter scale when he landed in the end zone right there. That was
they
awesome.
had him stopped, but he was not going to be denied, and he dove and reached that ball by a good 1.5 yards in the end zone. And that's what, I mean, if you're a lineman, you don't get a lot of that glory and a lot of those things, and you love that when you got a coach that's like, yeah, we'll let you get one. The only problem that does now is now you got 4 of their starting linemen.
Right.
Come to you, hey,
They're
coach,
all going to rotate
hey, coach,
through.
when's my turn?
They're going to rotate through. Talk about your starting offense right there. They're just shifting them around to all the positions. It's the same guys, just changing positions. Did he have Conway blocking somewhere on that play? I didn't see where Conway ended up. 21-0 for San Juan here, and still not quite 5 minutes into this game. As, again, it's Santana on a return for Grand County. I'm sorry, I thought it was 23. 22 that time, Connor Swayze, as he does some running and catching for Grand County. He gets them back up to the 26-yard line or 28. So that's where Grand County is going to start, and obviously just looking to get something started on offense here. First and 10 from their own 29, actually, looks like where they've spotted it. 7:07 to go in the opening quarter. And a 21-0 lead here for San Juan already tonight on their final regular season game at home. And Paris will hand off up the middle, but nothing doing as the Broncos clog that area up with the line. And it looked like, was that Swayze carrying that? No, it was actually number 2 that time, J.T. Dowd with his first touch of the night. Loss of 2 on the play, actually.
And, you want to establish your run game because that makes teams, fill the box, opens up your passing game. But that last drive, I'm a fan of letting Austin just roll out, sit in the pocket, find the open receiver. That seemed to be working, partially for him. And to me, I don't know if you can run against this defensive line for San Juan.
Well, the sophomore quarterback, Austin Paris, working from the shotgun, throws over the middle, and it was deflected at the line and falls incomplete along the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 10 on the second straight incompletion from Austin Paris.
Yeah, and it appears J.D. Palmer got his hand up there and tipped that ball, and it went high in the air. If they'd had a player in the vicinity, that could have been a pick 6 there.
And you asked in the pregame, what has resulted as far as points go on defensive takeaways for San Juan, and they don't have a defensive touchdown this year, but you mean resulting in touchdowns on their next drive.
Yep.
And we're just estimating somewhere above 90% probably. Here's Paris just kind of throwing that ball for his life, and he does connect with a man out of the backfield, I believe, or a receiver at any rate, was Lane Berry, the senior. He makes the catch, but he's going to lose about 3 more yards on the catch.
And San Juan's defense is just so quick and fast. They rally so quick to the ball once it's handed off or once it's passed. By the time Berry had that catch and was facing, north to run that ball, he had 7 Broncos bearing down on him, and they just have such good closing speed.
So once again, that puts Grand County in a punting situation deep in their own territory. This kid is probably going to get a lot of action here tonight as he punts it away. This is going to take an east to west bounce and actually going to roll out of bounds. Nice work by number 40 here to stick the foot out. Shane Randall to down that before it rolls another yard backward. But again, San Juan continues to start right around the same position on the field. This time they'll be shy of their own 45 at the 44. So 1st and 10 for San Juan, leading 21-0, 5:32 to go in the opening quarter. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Brought to you in part tonight by Napa Motor Parts, Creative Floors, San Juan School District CTE programs, and Blue Mountain Foods. Here's Parker Snyder from the shotgun. Pump fake, now throws left side, complete to a diving Jake Ivins for a 16-yard pickup and a first down at Grand County's 40.
And if you're the fans, you know you love these big plays, the score in two plays, go down and score big play, one score 60 yards. But I guarantee you the coaches, they want Grand to give them a good look and a good defensive fight here.
Yeah, you want to be able to have to run some plays and actually work it out. And now here's a pitch and catch to Javen Montella, and he's going to go down inside the 20. Wow, that's going to be a pickup of 10, 20, 25 yards.
Here's the other thing that happens in some of these games is the officials, they don't really want to throw their flag on the defense or the losing team. But right there, there was a horse collar on that play.
So it's a 16-yard catch, now a 25-yard catch. Snyder's going to go to the air again. This time it's dropped in and out of the hands of Tyler Pearson. That's the first incompletion of the night for Parker Snyder. So he started 5 of 5 for 111 yards already. And that being the first incompletion will make it second down and 10 at the 15-yard line of Grand County. Parker Snyder working with two guys in the backfield, fakes the handoff to Conway, now throws to Trace Bennett. It's complete, and he rumbles into the end zone. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Parker Snyder to Trace Bennett. And the Broncos lead it 27-0. Still 4:49 to go in the opening quarter, and the guys working the cannon are getting a workout out there tonight.
Yeah, them and the punter for Grand are going to have some ice baths after this game probably. And Trip Palmer, man, he's gonna really get his money's worth tonight as the PAT kicker, I believe.
Absolutely. 3 of 3 already tonight. Looking to make it 4 of 4 right here. I should have not said anything. Grand County getting some penetration there, but Palmer drills it, no problem. So he remains perfect tonight. He's 12 of 12 in the course of the last 2 games. We'll take a quick break. San Juan leads it 28-0, 4:49 to go in the opening quarter. Friday Night Lights live from Blanding tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the Broncos will kick the ball away again, now leading 28-0. All Broncos here in the opening quarter, of course, against the Grand County Red Devils, and now the Red Devils returning the ball back across the 25 to the, well, they're going to spot it right at the 25, it looks like. I didn't see if it was Santana who returned again that time.
Lane Peterson.
All right, thank you, sir. So first down, Grand County, but the Red Devils have just had nothing at all going on offense yet here tonight.
And here's something as a head coach you kind of think about, and I know that I dealt with this when Wayne first came into football back in the day, and they, struggled, and you'd get up like this big in the first, second quarter. Maybe you start rotating. You want your varsity team to have a second half. You want them to be able to play, to come out after halftime, because that, you want them to have that experience, and you want to see how they react after halftime. And so maybe you bring out some of your younger classmen now, let them have 4 or 5 minutes as a group, and then shuffle your varsity in and out so they're not sitting for half, but they're getting some playing time.
Yeah, it is a bit of a dilemma, and that's something maybe I'll talk with Coach Christensen about next week. Obviously, maybe a tougher opponent next week in Delta, but there was a completion by Austin Paris to Tucker Fry, but for no gain as Fry fell down right when he caught it. So it remains, well, actually they gave him a loss of yardage. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say no gain as second down, and it is spotted at second down and 11, just shy of the 25-yard line now. Austin Paris, the sophomore quarterback for Grand County, working for the shotgun. Now he finds a hole up the middle on a design quarterback run, and he's going to saunter out of bounds over on the far sideline, but he does pick up about 6 yards on the carry.
And Javen Montella over there able to push him out of bounds. But, yeah, good-looking run by the sophomore quarterback who is just trying to get anything going for his team he can. And they've come out and run that spread a lot with an empty back set. So you know when you come out empty back set with a tight end that you're looking to run your quarterback. You've got no one else back there. Pay attention to the tight end. Maybe Coach Wells has something he's looking for a package for that tight end to kind of, get out there in open space.
Well, he'll send a man in motion. That's Swayze. Now either handed to him or faked it. Looks like he faked it, and now they will sling the quarterback down in the backfield. This is going to lose all that yardage that he just gained, and it's going to bring up 4th down, loss of 5 on the play.
And like I said, you bring out, now Parker comes out, so Coach is looking at that. He's like, hey, let's get some other guys in here. You got Josiah LaPalmer in now for.
So 4th down and a punting situation for the 4th straight time here tonight for Grand County. San Juan leading this one 28-0. This is the best punt so far, but it's going to be returnable. And it's Bethea, I believe, on the run, back across midfield, goes out of bounds around the 49-yard line of Grand County. So the Broncos back on the Red Devil side of midfield to start this possession.
And a positive here for the Red Devils, your punter is getting better with every punt. So, hey, that could be a game changer at one point in the season coming down the wire.
Well, they give Bethea an extra yard from what I thought, so San Juan's going to start at the Red Devil 48. Already leading 28-0 in position with a touchdown, an extra point here to already be set up for a running clock, and still over 3 minutes left in the first quarter. So 1st and 10 for San Juan on the Red Devil side of midfield. And here's Zach Conway taking a handoff. Gets to the outside, and there is a flag on the play, so this will likely give San Juan some more practice. It's going to come back on a hold, so never mind about that. About 1 yard into the run, or maybe at the line of scrimmage, a hold was detected and whistled down, so that play is going to come right back. And it'll be 1st down and 20 for San Juan. 2:59 to go in the first quarter. If a team goes up 40-something to nothing in the first half, do they start running the clock, or
not till the second half?
You have to wait till the second.
Yeah, it's a mercy rule in the second half. Now, some states do that in the first half, but Utah is a state that elects to wait till the second half.
And in fact, I think Colorado is one of them. As Parker Snyder will throw complete to the far side of the field. And let's see who made that catch. Looks like it was Ivins over there and got some of that yardage back. Looks like about 7 yards on that pitch and catch for San Juan.
You never lack a penalty, but, at this point, you just kind of take that penalty because it gets your offense some work. Hey, scenario work,
Exactly. And back to it already. They're going to go up the middle. Parker Snyder keeps it himself, slips a tackle. Now he's tackled from behind, but he'll get all the way down to the Grand County 25. That's going to be a pickup of 26 yards, 27 yards maybe on the run for Parker Snyder.
Good recognition there by Parker to see that, to react to it, and he's just so phenomenal when he gets out in open space.
And San Juan continues to go hurry up as Snyder takes a snap in the shotgun, hands off to Conway, who spins. He had several Red Devils there trying to stop him. He'll still pick up 4.5 yards on a hard run. So we'll give him 4, maybe 5 yards on that. Oh, it looks like they gave him more than I thought. I guess I misjudged that myself. That's a 7-yard pickup for Zach Conway.
Things look closer on this side of the field than that side.
It's crazy. So that's 80 yards rushing already for Conway. 133 yards passing for Parker Snyder, by the way. And speaking of Snyder, he finds Javen Montella in stride once again. Hits him from 17 yards out for another touchdown for San Juan. And with just under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter, they're now up 34-0.
And there's just nothing that Grand can do right now. San Juan firing all cylinders. Grand just under-equipped for this matchup.
Yeah, 3 touchdown passes now for Parker Snyder. Trip Palmer drains the PAT once again. So he is 5 of 5, 13 of 13 in the past couple games. Pretty impressive work by this sophomore for San Juan. And again, taking it seriously. I stood behind him and watched him working on his kicks this afternoon before the game started.
And that's one of the great things about high school football is, you know, at the beginning of the season, he wasn't the kicker, PAT, and they were rotating through him, and he's just kind of developed throughout the season, and he's become, you know, automatic at those PATs.
I find it interesting that I mentioned Javen Montella had been quiet these last couple games after such an amazing game at Judge Memorial, but here his 7th and 8th touchdown catches on the season and have been a part of this now 35-0 lead for San Juan. This was a high kick that was fielded on a bounce, and my goodness, was Lane Peterson drilled on the return, and he got up around the 30, but what happened?
Jake Ivins kicks off. They let Jake kick. He kicks it high, and he's the one that gets down there, makes a tackle.
I mean, he got hammered. Look at this absolutely beautiful moon coming up on the horizon right now. That is awesome.
Can't wait for that eclipse.
I love it. I love it. You say there's an eclipse coming? I had no idea. I haven't heard a thing about it.
You know, you listen to the morning show, and they got some good stuff on that.
Yeah.
You want to go get some glasses, and
that's right.
You know, I think they still have them down there at SJR News.
Pretty sure we do. Yeah, that is a nice moonrise. Unbelievable. Here is Grand County, 1st down and 10, and now Paris trying to do it himself as he takes it off left guard on a quarterback run. And it is Justice Black getting up saying he had the football. He may have, but they're going to give Grand County, I think, benefit of the doubt here. And
I'm pretty sure
2-yard pickup.
Austin was sitting on his rear end when Justice wrestled that away from him.
There you go. Well, you got to give him credit for the effort. It's a 2-yard pickup for the sophomore quarterback for the Red Devils. 2nd down and 8. And Paris brings him to the line of scrimmage again. And he is going to be flushed out of the pocket, but he didn't make it, as J.D. Palmer gets back in the backfield for the sack. And so that'll drop him for a loss once again. And it'll be, well, that's a loss of, it looks like, about 6 yards on the play.
Rhett's getting his photography skills out here.
Yeah, I'm distracted, that's for sure, and my skills are lacking, that's for sure also.
If you're Coach Wells, you got to get Austin out of that pocket. You got to have some rollouts, some sweeps, something to get him, not only just to get some momentum, but to keep him safe, because he is just getting eaten alive. You may even want to go back to your wing tee offense with a bigger line.
Here's Paris again, and once again just faces a ton of pressure from this San Juan defense, and he's going to be sacked again. Back-to-back sacks, back-to-back huge losses. I'm going to say that's a loss of 20 yards or so in the last couple plays. So just Grand County struggling here, and that is the way the quarter's going to end. It's a 35-0 lead for the San Juan Broncos. As we conclude the first quarter, they'll flip the field. Looks like the Red Devils are going to be forced to punt again. When we come back, stay with us. We'll send it back to the studio. We'll be back out to start the second quarter. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
In Blanding as we get underway in the second quarter, And it's a punt for Grand County, their 5th in a row. And San Juan is content to just let that roll to a stop at midfield. So that's where they'll start to begin this second quarter. Already up 35-0. So barring any changes here tonight, it's going to be a running clock to begin the second half for the second week in a row. San Juan working on another blowout win here tonight. Just, you know, Art, the region just has nothing for San Juan. Obviously, they need to get into, well, I don't know. We don't know what Delta has yet. Obviously, one game to go, but Grand is truly outmatched here tonight, that's for sure.
Well, here's the thing. They've beaten teams like the preseason games that Coach Christian talked about handily as well. This is just a well-built, well-coached team, and teams have a hard time stacking up against them.
Parker Snyder will get a little play action in the backfield. Now throw complete to Jake Ivins on the right side out of that slot back position, and he picks up 9. I thought he might have stretched it ahead for 10, but they do not give him the benefit of the doubt. 9-yard catch for Ivins, his 4th catch of the night. And Snyder is now 9 of 10 on the night, 159 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and they go right back to it. And this time on the ground to Zach Conway, and he gets the first down and more. I didn't see how many runs or where that started, actually. I need to see where that started. Looks like that began on the 41.
Yep.
And then now down to the 29. So that doesn't help me. That's a 12-yard run, I guess. And now Conway will get another 15 or so. So 12-yard and then 15-yard for Zach Conway. It's tough to keep up with this offense, even just sitting in the booth, Art.
Yeah, and they just have so many weapons that you go away from Conway, you know, you go to Bennett, you go to Ivins, you go to Montella, and obviously you go to Yummy.
Yeah.
And just so many offenses.
Hand the ball
so
off to your
weapons.
lineman when you just need someone to get a break, I guess. Conway gets another first down for San Juan. Broncos now at the 15 of Grand County, as Parker Snyder will throw quickly to Conway out of the backfield. He's going to try to get to the outside. Now he's going to try to wrestle some Grand County players into the end zone. They rule his forward progress stopped at the 5, so it's a 10-yard pickup, and it's going to be a first and goal for San Juan. So it's right at the sticks on a 10-yard pickup, 10-yard catch for Conway. That's my thought. It's his first catch of the night. 169 yards passing now for Parker Snyder. It's not likely we're going to see these guys after the second quarter, so they're getting it done right now. And here's a handoff down to the 1-yard line to Conway. So that's a pickup of 4, but not quite into the end zone.
Good tackle by Jose Santana for the Devils there to stop that touchdown.
And so the Broncos will take another shot here on second and goal. Snyder in the backfield. Hands to Conway, and he goes in completely untouched as the Broncos open the hole off right guard. I think they've run out of, oh no, they got the cannon to go that time. It was just fire and smoke last time. This time we get the big boom. That is a sight to behold at night with that fire coming out of there. That's cool.
Isaac Warner, number 53, with a great block to make it so Zach walks into the end zone untouched. But those linemen just doing what they've done week in and week out, just making tremendous blocks as Zach comes across, takes that middle backer, and just moves him out of the space.
And that is 2 touchdowns. Trip Palmer adds the point after again. And so he's 6 of 6 on the night. That kid's been impressive for the Broncos of late. That might be something you need down the stretch. And I've missed some TDs here. Let's see, we got Taylor Black with a touchdown. 2 for Zach Conway now on the ground. 2 for Javen Montella. What am I missing? Trace Bennett.
Trace Bennett.
Trace Bennett had a receiving touchdown. And so Bennett's second receiving touchdown on the year.
Here's the thing, you talk about Trip Palmer and, you know, getting ready. This is a perfect game to get your offense down there, 20, 30-yard line, and see if he can kick a field goal. Give him some work in the field goal department in the second half of this game.
Yeah.
And that's one positive thing for San Juan out of this type of game is you're able to work on some things that not necessarily you get game experience for in practice, because kicking a field goal in practice is just not the same as at night under the lights with a team that's actively trying to come block that kick. So field goal opportunities tonight. If you're Coach Christian, maybe you look at that, see what you can get. And we got a new kickoffer.
A new kickoffer, you say? That's
Yep.
a new. Is that a German version of a
kickoffer.
kicker?
There was Corbin
Art.
Bradford, number 69, kicking off for the Broncos.
Art, I don't think a broadcast goes by that you don't invent a new word. I love it. I love it.
You know, I'm like Webster. I just come up with, new stuff all the time.
That is impressive. Yeah, I believe this is the harvest moon tonight, so that, weirdness can happen tonight. You just never know what's going to happen as we near Halloween here this season.
Yeah, and for those folks that are listening or watching, that was not a meant onside kick, I guarantee you. They're just giving kids an opportunity to play positions that they don't normally play because of the score. And it just happened to be a good onside kick that was not recovered.
Happened to be a bit of a whiff there, I think. So 1st and 10, Grand County with their best field position of the night. And Paris. Oh, no, not Paris. Is he in at quarterback?
No, it looked like they had
JT Dowd in at QB. He has played some
find-
QB, if that's who is back there.
try to find Austin.
Oh, he's there. He's
Is
now
he?
running toward the sideline now.
Yeah, number 2 was the runner on that.
Okay, so I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it was a bit of a wildcat.
Austin's still in. He just went over to the coach. So, yeah, they might be doing some kind of trickeration. Yeah, he's in at the
Okay, so, yeah, he's in a crazy. So is it Dowd now taking the snaps?
Yeah, direct snap to Dowd, and he's just running up forward. And this is kind of
3 yards back to back here for him.
Yeah, what Coach Wells is going to have to do is just try to get pushes, 2-3 yards a carry and just try to push because nothing else seems to be working. And they're just putting so much pressure as quick as this defense is that you just got to beat them to the punch and get 3 yards. And they're in their big wing T set.
So Coach Wells just kind of mixing things up a little bit here, going wing T wildcat to JT Dowd, and so far it's working. It looks like they're going to get their first down of the night on back-to-back 3- and 4-yard carries here, and there you go. So this time a 4-yard carry for Dowd.
And not only does that give your team some confidence now because they're moving the ball, but it gets that clock running where before, you've mentioned that the clock just wasn't running, and that's unfamiliar for a running power run team is they like to take big chunks, 5-6 minutes off that clock at a time with a drive. And so good for Coach Wells coming out, and now he comes out.
They spread it back out again, huh?
I tell you, stick with what's working for you.
How many times this year have we seen coaches have something working and then go away from it? So they go to the air this time, and this time they throw to JT Dowd, and he almost broke for some distance there, but he gets 3 yards on a catch. Completion for Austin Paris, his first of this quarter.
We'll give that Bermuda or whatever bluegrass that is out there the credit on the tackle.
There you go. I've got that as Dowd's first catch of the night. I don't know if that's accurate, but 3 yards for him. So really he's done most of the work here on this series, both from the Wildcat taking the snaps and just running it up the middle and now making a catch on the right side. 2nd down and 7 at the San Juan 38-yard line as they go back to this tight wing T look. And now they'll hand it to Dowd, and he hit the hole with some gusto there, and he'll rumble it down close to the sticks. That's a pickup of 6 yards, makes it 3rd down and 2.
And the wing T is designed for those small little spaces. If you can get your linemen and your running backs and your wing backs to get their poles, to get in their gaps, and to just all you need 6 inches here and there to block those guys out, then you can get those running backs in and out of space. And traditionally, San Juan's just so quick on defense that wing T's haven't been able to work. But you'll get a couple that will. But, stick with what you know here, Coach Wells, and run that ball.
And he will, as, again, Dowd, I think, lost the ball that time. Or that was actually the quarterback, Paris. And he lost the ball. San Juan saying they got it. This play started at the 33, and the Broncos do recover it. So Austin Paris commits the first turnover of the night, and that's not what Grand County wanted right there when they were actually finally moving the ball a little bit.
And if you look at Austin and Dowd, number 2 for Grand, Dowd is, he's bigger in stature, bigger-bodied kid, and I like the way he runs up there. You mentioned it on that one run, just blowing through those gaps. So, in this type of scenario, I know Austin's your thrower, and maybe if you're going to throw the ball, line them both up there to, have your center snap it to one or the other, but Dowd is definitely your running back, and that wing T just power that run up the middle. So look to see if Coach Wells comes back to Dowd. And
it looks to be Branton Bethay who got the fumble recovery for San Juan. And that would be his first of the season if that's the case. Parker Snyder loading up to throw it downfield, and he does hit Javen Montella in stride. Montella a little off balance, but he rumbles all the way down to the 15 of Grand County.
Started at the 32.
There you go. Thank you very much. So that's what, 10, 20, and then 55, 50, I guess that's about a 53-yard play. So 53 yards for San Juan as Javen Montella is once again having a night. This kid is either big or small for the Broncos this year. He's either tons of yardage or not much. And let's see, who was this here? That was Conway. Was that on a pass?
Yep, little swing
Oh,
pass,
all right.
and gets out there and out-jukes himself.
Yeah. And give the credit to the grass again on the tackle there. So 15 yards receiving now on 2 catches for Conway. Back-to-back completions for Snyder. Again, I'm having to go hurry up on my stats as the Broncos don't give me much time to add anything up. Snyder will look to throw again, and boy, that was close. He does find Brigham Nielsen inside the 10. They'll spot him at the 6. And will that be enough to move the chains? It's very close. It looks like a couple yards shy.
Yeah.
That's only a couple yard pickup, actually.
Not a very and number 22 for the Red Devils was right there on top of it. Like you said, almost had it.
Yeah, I thought
but
that
made
was
the good tackle.
I thought that was going to be at the very least defensed and maybe even intercepted. But so the Broncos have a 3rd down and short. I think this may be their first 3rd down of the night. It is. Snyder will throw on a slant pattern, incomplete. Thrown behind the intended receiver, Montella.
Yeah, their first 3rd down. This is,
And they didn't complete it or didn't convert it. So 3. That's just the 2nd incompletion for Snyder. I think he'd probably like to have that one back. That was thrown behind the receiver. And so now on 4th down, they'll go for it here. They could move the chains with a 2-yard pickup, but they're only on the 6-yard line. So here's Snyder throwing complete to Jake Ivins for a touchdown. Never mind about the first down. They'll score from 6 yards out on a pitch and catch from Parker Snyder to Jake Ivins. And that is Ivins' first touchdown catch of the night. That kind of surprises me, but that is the case. 4 passing touchdowns now for Snyder, and I'll have to take some time in a little bit to add all this up. Kind of got out of control on that series for me. But here's Trip Palmer once again attempting the PAT, and he nails it. So Trip Palmer moves to 7 of 7 tonight. No need for the 2-point conversion when your kicker's just slotting them through the uprights all night long. And so it's 49-0 for San Juan with 5:13 remaining in the first half. We'll take a real quick break. It is Friday Night Lights, live from San Juan High School on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For the 7th time tonight, after their 7th touchdown, they'll be kicking it away to start the 3rd quarter as they receive to start the game tonight. So Grand County is going to start on their own 30 here. Friday Night Lights tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, brought to you in part by Energy Fuels, Palmer Sprinkling, Precision Rehab, Lee Contracting, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Holiday Construction, Quality Auto, San Juan Pharmacy, and Canyonlands Tire. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. This is the final regular season home game of the year. So the Broncos would not play here at home until, what would that be, the 2nd week of October, I guess? No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be, I'd have to figure that out, but San Juan's going to drop JT Dowd for a loss here. Was this a handoff?
No, it's direct snap, number 2.
Okay, so they go with the Wildcat again for JT Dowd. He does have some quarterback action this year, so I guess that's what this is considered, but 2 yards backwards right here, so he drops to 12 yards rushing. Yeah, I'd have to see that schedule to know when that second round playoff game would be for San Juan.
Be probably the 27th of October.
So that's a month away, amazingly. So the Broncos would not play back here.
Well, no, because they'd play Delta on the 6th, then have a bye week, yep, and then the first round, 27th.
Yep. Justice Black on a big stop, sacking the quarterback, another 2 yards to the negative for Grand County, which has really kind of been the mantra here tonight. All the teams that San Juan has faced this year, Art, this may be the most mismatched that we have seen.
Yeah, you really feel for Grand, and you think, maybe with the woes they've had over the last few years, maybe independency to kind of build their own schedule to be successful like Ogden did years ago, or maybe even a petition to go into the 8-man realm. You never know. But they need to do something to build their numbers back up at Grand County.
Yeah, it's tough to get the interest when it's going this way. Here's a nice pass and catch. And that'll go to Swayze for, looks like about 8 yards, but it still will be 4th down for Grand County. 7 of 10 on the night now for Austin Paris, so completion-wise, pretty decent. Let's see, for Swayze, his second catch of the night. He's got most of the receiving yards now at 15, but
going for it, Rhett.
Wow, they're going to go for it. I mean, shoot, just rolling the dice down. It's only 3 minutes left in the half. You're going to be running clock in the second half anyway. They're going to let him throw over the middle or over the right side, and he completes it for a first down. A gutsy completion and a 12-yard gain out to the San Juan 45 to J.T. Dowd. Wow.
Yeah, great throw there by Austin. Way to sit in that pocket. He led J.T. on the pass. J.T. way to secure that, and he knew exactly where he needed to get to on his route before he cut in to get to the first down.
That's impressive on 4th down, deep in your own territory, to move the chains like that. As Grand County finally has something to take positively right here, and they've got a new set of downs at their own 46 is where they spot the ball. Here's some play action in the backfield. Paris will keep it himself, runs off left tackle, and picks up a long 3, maybe short 4 on that play.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Grand. All you need is 3 yards. You pick up 4, that's a bonus. But just keep grinding it out, getting up those short yardage to pick up that first down, and eventually you're knocking on the red zone.
The ball spotted right at the midfield line. And we're down under 2 minutes now to go here in this first half. So we just crossed over the 2-minute warning there, Art. Don't stop the clock in high school football. 2nd down and long 6, short 7. And a pass is complete to the right side. And maybe a pickup of 3 over here. And that is first time we've called Tucker Fry's name this quarter. And he now has 13 yards receiving with that catch. 40 yards passing for Austin Paris, the sophomore, and he moves to 9 of 12 with that completion. But the clock really becoming a factor for the Red Devils now. We're down to 1:15 to go in this first half. The Broncos leading Grand County 49-0. It's been all Broncos in this first half. Now Paris just throws that ball away to save his own life as he was about to be sacked way deep in the backfield. So that'll stop the clock and bring up a 4th down and 2. I mean, if they went for it back at their own 30, they're definitely going to go for it right here.
And they're 1 of 1 right now on 4th downs.
4th downs, yeah.
And only 1 of 9 on 3rd down, so the odds are with them.
So the key is you just got to get to 4th down if you're the Grand County offense.
And
that's where you find your success.
And their run game here, you only need 3 yards. Well, along 2.
So 4th down and semi-short for Grand County as they send Tucker Fry in motion. Paris going to dial his own number, but I don't think he's going to get it. He'll get about a yard. He just didn't hit the hole hard enough right there. And he'd have had to have driven that pile, but he's unable. And so that'll turn the ball over on downs to San Juan, starting at their own 45 with just over a minute to go in the half and a 49-0 lead.
Then I know you want to stretch your defense out, because traditionally it makes sense to stretch the defense, put less guys in the box. You can run up the middle, but I would have went back to the wing tee, run Dowd up the middle because he's been getting those 2-3 yards every carry.
Got those long legs and a little bit of power. But that's not what happens. The Broncos will take the ball back over, and we'll see if they can draw some more blood here before this half comes to a close. Parker Snyder, unlike Austin Paris, has time and uncovered in the middle of the field for a 55-yard touchdown pass is Brigham Nielsen. And he was entirely uncovered on some busted coverage in the backfield. The Cannon guys are running out of ammo, and it is 55-0. Speaking of yummy, that's his number showing on the scoreboard now. And that drive took less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, the blown coverage between the safety and the defensive back that just get mixed up, and they see Keaton Ivins, or Jake Ivins, running his route down the seam, and they're like, well, let's go take him, and Montella is just wide open. And
that was Nielsen, wasn't it?
And he missed the PAT.
Oh, man, and you hear the crowd. So that's the first time in 2 games that Trip Palmer has missed one. I think it was Brigham Nielsen, if I'm right.
Was it
for his first touchdown catch of the night?
Yep, that's right. You're right.
And so it's going to take me a while to tally all these stats now that they've just been collecting them so fast in this second quarter. But a 55-0 lead for San Juan. 54 seconds to go in this first half. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Diamond Propane, Knowles Home Furnishings, Red's Ace Hardware, Southeastern Utah 7-Eleven stores, Blue Mountain Hospital, Furniture Gallery, Dependable Auto Repair, and Primary Residential Mortgage tonight. A lot of stats are being padded tonight for the San Juan Broncos, but like we've said more than once, Art, it's, you really, I think, would love a lot more challenge, a chance to kind of hone your game a little bit, but obviously the Broncos cruising through this one here tonight, and it's not likely we're going to get to see the starters in the second half. This is the biggest first half lead for the Broncos this season. And the goal is not necessarily to run up the score on anybody, but it just is what it is. If you're not going to be defended, you're going to score like you did on that last play.
Yeah, and you can't fault San Juan for throwing the ball because that's their offense. That's what they're built to do. So you're just going out there calling normal plays, normal system drives, and trying to get your offense in a flow. And people say, well, just run the ball or put other guys in. Well, that doesn't benefit you as a team going into the stretch of the playoffs, and you have to benefit your team, not the other team. And so even though that looks like, hey, you're throwing, up 49-0, why are you doing that? That's just part of the game and part of the flow, and you have to play your offensive scheme.
So now Grand County goes back to the wing tee. A little bit too late here, I think, and no gain on this play. That was a lot of misdirection in there. I didn't see who ended up with the football, so thank you, Mr. Adair. It looks like that was number 22, Connor Swayze, on his first run of the night, according to my stats, and they'll give him 2 yards, it looks like. Give him the benefit of the doubt. 2nd down and 8 for Grand County as they march a little bit closer to that 30-yard line. Got the ball spotted at the 29. They may not snap another play here. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the half. Grand County is going to be getting the ball to start the third quarter. They are not in any hurry up to the line of scrimmage here. You don't see a lot of love on that offensive team right now. They're going to actually snap the ball, and it's student body right up the middle is what that is. That's like some rugby action. Maybe another 2 yards, but that's the way the half is going to end. A 55-0 lead for San Juan. As we head into the break, we'll take a break ourselves, and we'll be back out to start the halftime show, give you some halftime stats. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Let's hear it for your San Juan cheerleaders.
San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union. We have branches available in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff. Come on down and see us.
Sorry about that. Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92.
Everyone come together to support activities and making it to state in softball. Let's go Broncos. Let's hear it for
Olivia. First half
Olivia.
stats, and we're really just going to focus on the San Juan Broncos. There's not a whole lot to mention for Grand County.
Is accompanied
Obviously
by
a tough
PP.
night for them, down 55-0.
Her favorite hobbies are basketball.
We'll start with Parker Snyder.
Her plans after high school are to go to college. Favorite memories from high school are hanging out with friends and playing sports.
15 of 17 in that first half with 5 touchdown passes.
JD Ruiz
Here's how he
is
spread it around.
accompanied by
70
Ozzy
yards
and
receiving. Let's
Vanessa
start with
Ruiz.
Javen Montella. 140 yards receiving on 4 catches and 2 touchdowns for Javen. Brigham Nielsen then 70 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, a big 55-yarder to close out that first half for San Juan. Jake Ivins has 5 catches, 50 yards, and a TD. Trace Bennett has the other receiving touchdown, a 15-yard catch in the first quarter. 15 yards receiving on 2 receptions for Zach Conway. And that does it as far as passing and catching goes for San Juan in the first half. Rushing yards, 148 between Parker Snyder and Zach Conway. Conway has 112 and 2 touchdowns. Parker Snyder has 35 yards on 2 carries, 7 carries, by the way, for Zach Conway. And then Taylor Yummy Black, the only other carry of the night, a 1-yard touchdown dive. I don't know if you can even call it a run. It was definitely a dive or maybe more of a flop. I don't know, but he stretched the ball and got his first rushing touchdown of the season. So that is a look at the first half stats. We do have a fumble recovery as well. Branton Bethea got that, his first of the year. Touchdowns tonight, again, Parker Snyder with 5 passing touchdowns in the first half. Zach Conway with 2 on the ground. Taylor Black with 1 on the ground. Javen Montella with 2 through the air. Trace Bennett, 1 through the air. Brigham Nielsen with 1 through the air. For Brigham Nielsen, that's his 4th of the season. Javen Montella has caught his 7th and 8th of the night. Trace Bennett's 2nd receiving touchdown of the year. Zach Conway, his 19th and 20th rushing touchdown of the year. And for Parker Snyder, he now has 30 passing touchdowns on the year. And he's inching ever closer, Art. I know he needs 51 this year. And I think then he becomes like the 9th quarterback in Utah history to throw for a certain number. I mean, if we could start getting closer to that, we're going to have to look at it. But I know at the beginning of the year, the Deseret News was writing about that he would be in good company, elite company, if he gets 51 yards or 51 passing touchdowns. Obviously, he still needs 21, but I tell you, he's approaching that now with games like this. But it's not like they were going to see these starters in the second half.
I was going to say, if he was close, this would be the night to get it. I mean, he could probably get another 15 tonight if Coach let him air it out.
All right, we're going to take one more break. When we return, we'll continue the Friday Night Lights halftime show. We'll talk about some scores from around the area and in our listening area here on Red Rock 92. So stay with us. San Juan leads at 55-0 at halftime on their final regular season home game of the season. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Emory is also leading South Severe 35-14 at the half.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding, Utah, the site of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We welcome you in. It is the Friday Night Lights halftime show as the San Juan Broncos lead the Grand County Red Devils 55-0 at halftime. And it's been all San Juan here tonight. Obviously, nothing less than what we expected here tonight against a very overmatched Grand County team. We're going to take a moment now and just look at some scores from around the area from all different levels of play here in our listening area.
So Milford versus Delta right now. Delta, who San Juan plays next week at Delta. Milford up 20-14, and that game is being played at Delta as well. Layton Christian up on Providence Hall 28-7. South Summit, number 1 in the RPI, up on ALA 35-6. Summit Academy up 14-0 on Judge Memorial, and Emory leading South Severe 35-14. It looks like also trying to get some results for Monticello volleyball, playing Cortez in our listening area as well. Both schools facing off tonight over there in Cortez.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on that yet.
Haven't got anything on that. But in Monticello, Monticello up at halftime 13-12 over El Capitan, Arizona.
So just switching over to the Colorado side now. We got a halftime score. Norwood 28-0 leading Dolores. Also in our listening area, Norwood making a bid to move to 5-0 on the year over there, leading Dolores in a matchup between local teams tonight. See if we can find some other scores from over in Colorado. Sometimes it's few and far between, but we do have a halftime score. Montezuma Cortez leading Salida 28-6 at halftime. Let's see, we got some more 8-man action. That's still the same, Norwood and Dolores. I think that's all we can get as far as football goes over in Colorado tonight. Let's take a look maybe at some volleyball scores here real quick. We do have a couple finals. Dove Creek beating Center tonight in straight sets. Dove Creek moving to 13-2 on the year, so they're having an excellent year. DeBeck defeats Nucla in straight sets, so Nucla falls to 4-9 on the year. Other games tonight, San Juan hosted Gunnison Valley tonight, or in the process there. Maybe, I'm not sure if that's done. We haven't received any report. I don't know if we can get that here in the booth tonight or what, but like you mentioned, Art, no score yet on the Monticello and Montezuma-Cortez game going on over at Cortez tonight. Grand County is hosting Duchesne.
Just got a text, Monticello beat Cortez in straight sets.
All right, so Monticello sweeping Montezuma-Cortez. Lady Buckaroos moved to 10-8 on the season. Might get a chance to start moving up in those 1A rankings over here in the state of Utah. Cortez dropping to 2-12 on the season with that loss. I think that pretty much sums it up. We had is all football and volleyball tonight, so I think that's it. As far as I know, Whitehorse was scheduled to play at a Rehoboth Christian tournament in Gallup, but I haven't really seen any results or any evidence that that is actually going on this weekend. But it's all football and volleyball tonight, and so that's as best as we can get it to you. A recap of the scores going on around the Red Rock 92 listening area and, of course, throughout the state of Utah in 2A football as well. We'll take one final break, and we'll come back out to start this third quarter. It'll be a running clock with the San Juan Broncos up on Grand County 55-0 to start the second half. Red Devils going to be receiving the kick to start the third quarter. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports.
San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union. We have branches available in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff. Come on down and see us.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
To the field, they had to add some time back on the clock here at halftime. We did just receive word that San Juan volleyball team sweeping Gunnison Valley tonight in straight sets. So two of our southeastern Utah teams from San Juan County winning in straight sets this evening. Monticello over Montezuma-Cortez and San Juan over Gunnison Valley. I find it interesting. There's a Gunnison in Colorado and a Gunnison Valley in Utah. I have a hard time not just saying Gunnison for Gunnison Valley, but
Well, you always say Montezuma Cortez, and I've always just thought of it as Cortez.
Me too.
When I hear people say Montezuma, I just Montezuma Creek.
You go down to Montezuma Creek. Yeah, it's weird, but I know the folks over there call it Montezuma Cortez. It's too much of a mouthful for me, but I do it like they do it. So as annoying maybe as it is, you got to say the whole thing, I guess. And, in their logos, it is MCHS. So that's how it goes, I guess. As now it looks like we're ready to kick off the second half. And, again, it is going to be a running clock for the duration with the San Juan Broncos up 55-0 to start. And Grand County is going to get a return here as Connor Swayze comes up to snag that and returns it back to his own 30. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight by Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Four Corners Electric, San Juan School District Adult Education, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Bradford Tire, and San Juan Counseling. And as far as that goes, we do have something that we need to say. San Juan High School's Youth Coalition has been hosting this week's Broncos Unite in Bright Prevention Week. All week, students have had an evening or lunchtime activities to focus on joining the Bronco herd by uniting in Bright as a school to reduce the risk of suicide and drug and alcohol use. Thanks to San Juan Counseling for partnering with the Broncos this week. And speaking of partnering with the Broncos this week, it's an interception by Trip Palmer, the PAT man. This kid is starting to factor into these games as a sophomore. Trip Palmer gets his first interception of the year.
Yeah, and San Juan goes with a whole new defense out there too. And he just snagged that thing out of the air.
Speaking of uniting in Bright, I guess he did. Is he sporting blatantly the pink socks? I don't know. Everybody's got the pink socks. We do have Jayton Knight coming in at quarterback as expected, so it's going to be all JV here for San Juan in this second half, except for Conway, and Conway busts it up the middle for a big gain. That looks like a late tackle back here or something going on.
That was a good block by Trace Bennett is what that was.
He stayed with his block, drove him to the ground. There you go. So Conway makes no mistake and goes right up the middle. I'm going to need to see where that started from. Looks like the 22. So a 22-yard run. Yeah, we were asked at halftime what Zach Conway's rushing stats were, and when I reported to the coaching staff 112, I kind of got the impression they didn't think that was enough. And so they gave him 22 more and another touchdown right there. That is his third touchdown of the night. Trip Palmer drains the three, or the two, the one, the extra point. We're in basketball season apparently in my brain already.
You get that cool weather and you start going back to the gym, huh?
So he moves to 8 of 9 on the night. It's getting hard to count all these tick marks for Trip Palmer. He's going to be the leading scorer for San Juan if it keeps going like this at the end of the year. Yikes. Plus a pickoff to lead to those points, and there's that stat you asked about at the beginning of the game. How many times have the Broncos taken the ball away and turned it into points? And they do right there on a 22-yard run from Zach Conway.
And now you get Zach Conway kicking off for the Broncos. Jake Ivins was the kicker coming out after halftime, and now Conway, I guess they're just going to roll through kickoff kickers.
So everybody getting a chance to kick the ball away. This is going to be fielded in the air by Swayze, I believe, and he'll get up around the 30 again. Looks like it's pretty traditional yardage here. Conway a little gimpy as he comes off the field, probably because he just spent time running down the field and now had to kick the ball away. He's only sporting one pink sock. He's got white on the right and pink on the left. 1st and 10 for Grand County, starting at their own 29. And, boy, running clock, remember, so down under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter as we're over 3 minutes in. But
you got the seconds out there on defense as well.
A lot
of juniors and seniors out there that don't have starting roles are now in the game.
So Grand County is going to start trying to make some action happen here. San Juan earned the shutout this way last week. Ended up holding off South Sevier despite the fact they had their JV out for the entire second half. Finished that game 64-0. We'll see if the JV can close this one out with a goose egg on the board. I believe the Broncos looking for their, it's not third shutout in a row, but third shutout of the season. It would be their second shutout in a row. 2nd down and 7 now as Grand County gets 3 yards on a run off right tackle. Trying to see who carried that football. Looking like it was the quarterback, Austin Paris. And tough night for him. He's up to negative 22 yards rushing with that. Looks like he carried again for another 3 yards, or we'll give him about 6, 7 yards on that one. I'll give him 7. No, it can't be because that'd be a first down. It's got to be 6.
He's trying to get his average back up.
That's right. Negative 18 yards now. 3rd down and 1, more importantly for Grand County, as they have an opportunity to move the chains here, I think, for just the 2nd time tonight.
They have 2 first downs tonight.
Okay, so looking for their 3rd first down. And it looks like they're going to get it this time. I don't know how many 3rd downs they've converted. I think that's either their 2nd or 3rd. So that'll be their 2nd.
Yep.
And it's once again Paris who comes out of the bottom of the pile. Looks like he carried for another 4 yards for Grand County. So he's up to negative 14 yards now with that run. And we're down to 7 minutes to go in a 3rd quarter with running clock situation. And a flag flies over here on the near sideline. I'm going to guess there's some conversation going on over here.
Sideline warning.
There you go.
And as all the players back up 2 yards.
I guess when you're pressing into the back of the referee, he's going to have to throw that flag if he's standing out on the field. He needs to have a little elbow room there. So a little sideline warning for San Juan. That was nonchalant. He never even looked back at the team. Hilarious.
He could feel the pressure.
What is this nasty breath on my neck? That's a flag. As Swayze carries for Grand County here. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 6 to midfield. That'll be a 2nd. Oh, actually, that was a first down play. So that's got to be a 7-yard pickup for Swayze. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. As Grand County starting to get a little bit of yardage now on this JVD for San Juan. 11 yards rushing for Connor Swayze. But flags are going to fly here before Grand County can snap the football. It'll be encroachment on the San Juan D. So that'll give them their 4th first down of the night. And move them into San Juan territory. Ball at the 45 of the Broncos and a 1st and 10 for Grand County. Clock is rolling under 6 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter now. Halfway through the 3rd quarter. And I thought maybe the ball was on the turf, but not. Swayze breaks free, and he's going to go for 7 yards on this play. Across the 40 of San Juan to the 38 or so.
You're right there, Red. I thought the same thing. I thought that ball was bobbled, and somehow Swayze was able to pick it out of the air because, there was a lot of movement right there with that football, and I saw the same thing you did. I saw it bounce off a kid's arm and then back into Swayze's hands.
It looked to me like San Juan was about to jump on top of it, but wow, crazy.
That's that handoff to the fullback, and then he hands off to the wingback, and there's a lot of handoffs going on right there within a matter of a
small space. Yeah. 2nd down and a long 3 for Grand County as Dowd will take the handoff, and he rumbles up the field off left guard for about another 6 yards, and that'll be a 1st down for Grand County. That's the first time this half that Dowd has carried the ball. 7 carries for 18 yards now for the Grand County junior. And he moves it down inside the San Juan 35 to the 33. So for the first time tonight, albeit against San Juan's JV defense, Grand County is on the move, trailing 62-0.
San Juan runs Stetson Black, and he's got some speed. They want to get some speed off that edge.
A little broken play here, it looked like anyway, but Paris still throws complete for 9 yards over the middle to number 34. I had him on the list somewhere. I don't know why I'm not seeing him here.
Lane Berry?
Yeah, Lane Berry. Well, I'll have to write him in. I thought for sure I had him. Oh, he is up at the top. I thought so. 9 yards.
It's a good little drive for Grand County here. They're mixing in the run and with their wing tee and also some passes.
I think that's the first completion for Paris in the 2nd half. It's all been on the ground until now. And they go back to the ground as Paris will dial his own number. And I think he got enough to move the chains. He does just by a yard, so that's a 3-yard carry again for the QB. He's up to negative 11 yards now, so he's getting back up to the 0 mark. He's had struggles tonight just with all the sacks the Broncos got on him in that first half. We're down to 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 62-0 for San Juan. JV defense on the field. And now Paris is going to get free, and he will rumble into the end zone. Did he stay in bounds? Touchdown, Grand County. And it goes from 22 yards out. So the Red Devils are on the board on a nice little run. Speaking of getting back to the 0 mark, he does it with some thunder there as Austin Paris runs for 22 yards. Now has 11 positive yards on the night. And the first touchdown for Grand County this evening erases the goose egg, makes it 62-6. Clock will mercifully continue to run here. I think technically it's supposed to stop, but I don't mind that it keeps running. Down to 2:45 to go in this third quarter. And the kick is up and good. I believe that is Hernandez on the kick. Let me see. Wow, cannon just for fun. Edgar Hernandez is Grand County. These guys are just going to shoot the cannon off for whoever scores. I love it. I love it.
That's sports.
So we brought a set amount of ammunition, and we are going to use it. That's awesome.
I think it caught most of us off guard.
It did. I had a little pucker moment there, I think, but Edgar Hernandez. Edgar Hernandez adds the PAT. That's all my brain is locked into the PAT now. So Hernandez starts the night 1 of 1, and that makes it 62-7 with just under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter under running clock rules. Friday Night Lights tonight on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part by Lee Collision and Repair and Here, let's try that again. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, San Juan Mortuary, Four Corners Homes, Utah Navajo Health System, Main Street Drug and Boutique, San Juan Credit Union, Tailor Made Wooden Heritage, and Innovation Medical Group. And a huge thanks to all the sponsors for making the broadcast possible. As we get set to kick the ball away here again, it's Grand County. And on the run up, a nice boot here. Going to come down at the 10, a chance to return for San Juan as Brigham Nielsen hands off to Zach Conway. San Juan still looking for their first kick return touchdown of the year. Flag on the return here. So this will probably come back. But in the meantime, it is returned across the 30, around the 34. This might give San Juan some deep field position here for the first time tonight, which would be nice to have some yardage to work with. We may even see the starters come back out here.
Well, it doesn't look like it as far as who's on the field right now. You've got J.D. Palmer, trying to see if Jayton's out there at quarterback or who they've got at quarterback. It looks like there's Jayton going out there
coming
now.
Out with the play. Grand County scoring their first touchdown of the night. San Juan's JV team out on the field for the duration. We may even see some third stringers here tonight, as we did last week against South Sevier. Jayton Knight, the backup quarterback, is in. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. Up the middle he goes and stretches it out to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 3 for Jayton Knight. His first carry of the night by my unofficial stats. I'm going to give him 4. I think I'm going to give him 4 on that. It's going to be
appreciate it.
Scribbled out 3.
It looks closer to 4 than 3 to me.
Yeah. Second down and a long 6 here, I think. This may be the final play of the third quarter as the third quarter screams by. This time he's going to get more than 4. Jayton Knight just around right tackle, and he's going to go from the 19 all the way out near the 35. So that is a pickup of about 16. Let's see where they officially spotted as time's going to expire on the third quarter here. Looks like it'll be a pickup of 15. They mark him shy of the 35. So a 15-yard run will close out the third quarter for Jayton Knight. And the score is 62-7 in favor of the San Juan Broncos. We'll take a quick break and come back out to San Juan High School, where San Juan leads Grand County handily here tonight in the final home game of the regular season. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Palmer.
Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair welcoming you back in as we get underway in the fourth and final quarter here tonight. J.D. Palmer on the carry on first down for San Juan and lost a yard on that run as he was slung down by the Grand County D. So J.D. is going to need to carry the football again, Art, as that being his first run. He's got negative yardage. I know no player wants that on their stat sheet for a game.
Got a lot of sophomores on this offensive line right now for San Juan. Good to see some young underclassmen getting some quality varsity time.
And Jayton Knight, the backup quarterback, is in as the starters on offense are done for the night after racking up 55 points in the first half. Palmer runs for another loss, so now he's going to have his work cut out for him. That's a loss of probably 2 on that play. So J.D. Palmer back-to-back negative rushes. And San Juan faces of, is that fourth down? I thought that should be third down. That's what I thought. They switched it back over to third. Third down and 14, we'll say. As Jayton Knight will work from the shotgun, and he's stepping up to the line to give some instructions here. San Juan sporting the pink socks and undershirts for Unite in Bright as they throw to the near side over here, and that is complete to number 16. And that is Owen Adams for San Juan. And it looks like that's a pickup of 6 for San Juan. As I've got that as Jayton's first completion of the night. I feel like I missed something, but I think maybe he just has handed the ball off most of the time since he's come in. Now it's actually fourth down and about 8 to go here for San Juan. 62-7 is the score. We're in a running clock situation for the entire second half here tonight. San Juan is going to go for it from their own 35-yard line with a fourth down and 8. No, they're not. Jayton Knight is going to punt this away, and nobody back to receive, but it's going to take a Grand County bounce, and it's actually San Juan downing it, let's see, at the 35 or thereabouts. I think they're going to give Jagger Neves the benefit of the doubt as he actually ran with that after he caught it, and they're going to spot it where he stopped running, it looks like. So that's a nice spot for San Juan, but Grand County will start at their own 35-yard line on this possession, which may take most of the rest of this game here, depending on what happens. And we've gotten all our sponsors mentioned one time. My apologies, it's not going to be any more tonight just with the running clock. These games, second half, go by real fast. Was that Paris carrying that time for
Yep, nice sack
Grand
by
County?
number 19, George McNaughton, the sophomore from San Juan.
So we're going to have some kids appearing in the sack stats this week who haven't been there. So after Austin Paris got his stats in the running stats into the positive, he's going to go back a couple yards here. He did score the lone touchdown for Grand County on that last possession on a nice 22-yard run against the San Juan JVD. He's working from the shotgun now with an empty set. Is that quads or no, just 2 guys across the way. And now they're going to, he shuttled that pass forward. That is they're going to call that an incomplete pass.
It should be.
Incomplete pass. That was a weird, he definitely slung that ahead. It's got to at least be intentional grounding, I would think. Nobody was there for Grand County. That was bizarre. He just threw that to not get sacked, and I'm surprised there's no penalty there. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, I don't know. It might have been San Juan that knocked that ball out of his hand.
Did you see the replay?
Yeah.
Huh.
It might have been San Juan that came up and knocked that out as his arm was going forward. The ball went forward, but the camera angle's not the best from where we're at, but I would say that probably was a fumble.
Well, they'll give Grand the benefit of the doubt, and 62-7 the score, under 8 minutes to go now in this ball game. As Paris will throw complete, and it's going to go for Looks like about 5, maybe 6 yards to Lane Berry.
Wrigley Legillia and Owen Adams out there on the tackle.
And it is a 4th down for Grand County. They'll probably go for it. They've been rolling the dice of late.
1 of 2 so far.
Yeah, they've had most of their success on 4th down, oddly.
2 of 11 on 3rd.
So here we go at the Grand County 39. They've got a 4th down and 7, we'll call it. Long 6. Just over 7 minutes to go in this game as Austin Paris rolls out, throws on the run, and it is complete. I think it is for a 1st down as they get just enough. And complete to number 2, JT Dowd for 9 yards. So 24 yards receiving for Dowd. And the first completion of the second half for Austin Paris. Pardon me, that is his 2nd completion in the second half. He had 1 9-yard completion as well in the 3rd quarter. So 58 yards passing now for Austin Paris as he drops back again. Floats one up to the left side, and that is nicely defended by Wrigley Legillia. They throw a flag on the far side of the field. I wonder if that's going to be is that offensive holding or defensive?
Defensive holding, I'll bet you.
So that may move the chains here for Grand County. The clock is going to continue to run here, so that's nice. We're down to 6 minutes to go in what is going to be a very quick second half. It's only 8:37 p.m. tonight. So we've only been playing this game for just over 90 minutes. And that will be defensive holding, and that will move the chains into San Juan territory as the ball will be spotted at the 44. So Grand County back up to the line of scrimmage. Austin Paris from the shotgun, and that's a double handoff. And now I believe it's Swayze. It is Swayze carrying down to the 30. That'll be a pickup of 13 yards and another 1st down for Grand County. It's a double handoff again in the backfield. And
such a great play in the wing tee where you hand it to your fullback. He then goes to the right or left, and that wingback's coming across the formation. Usually you send a puller with him, and he just takes that. And it's dangerous because you might fumble it like we saw, but also pick up big yardage too.
And they're going to go right back to the ground, this time to Dowd, and he'll rattle off 7 yards off right guard. So all of a sudden, Grand County on the move again, and well, that's not true. Zach Conway scored a touchdown for San Juan early in this second half, and now Austin Paris running for Grand County, and that is going to move the chains again. Another 6-yard pickup as they near the 15-yard line. And so Grand County on the move here. 1st and 10 from what appears to be the 17, and I think there's a skunk out here somewhere.
Yeah, I would say so.
Either that or someone's come in from Colorado doing something out here. And here's Paris airing one out to the left side, and that ball falls incomplete. He was throwing toward the goal line for Lane Berry.
Yeah, that ball floated a little bit on him. If it had a little bit more zip, a little tighter, and he had number 34, Berry, open.
So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 as we wind down to 4 minutes remaining in this game. Like I said, this possession for Grand County could likely take the majority of the rest of this game against the JVD. And they'll hand off again to Dowd, and he'll rattle off another 7-yard run. Back-to-back 7-yard runs for the junior JT Dowd, and he's up to 32 on the night. Most of Grand's yardage tonight has come here in the second half against this JV defense for San Juan. So the JV guys getting a workout, preparing to step up into these varsity positions next year. Looks like they only gave Dowd 5 yards on the spot. So I'm going to take those off, young man. You got to earn them here in the second half. And he will here as he gets the handoff again and carries some San Juan defenders down inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be 1st and goal. And that is a nice pickup of 7 yards that time.
And San Juan does come out of that pile with the ball. They thought they had a fumble, but the official right there, the back judge saying nope, he was down.
That's 2 or 3 times that's happened tonight. But it is a 1st and goal for Grand County as they avoid the turnover. Trying to punch in their 2nd touchdown of the night, down to just 2:40 left to do it here in a running clock scenario. And they'll hand off to the man who's been carrying the rock all second half long, JT Dowd, and he'll get a couple yards down to the 2, 2nd and goal. He has the most yardage tonight for any Grand County player at 39 yards on 11 carries. And now 2nd and goal. And it looked like Austin Paris may have dialed his own number, but he goes nowhere right up the gut as he hits a wall of defenders. Again, San Juan comes out of the pile with the football, and we got Taryn Bayless, who was tearing off down the middle of the field, seeing if he could scoop and score on that from 99 yards, but no dice, young man. It'll be 3rd down and goal for Grand County.
Yeah, this would be a great, goal line stand for the 2nd defense in there for San Juan. A lot of momentum builder for them. Just, they need this that 2nd defense after they've let them go down the field and score once.
And it was actually Dowd on the direct snap. This time, Paris gets the snap, and he's looking for options. He'll try to get to the outside, but he'll be caught from behind, and we'll lose 3 yards on this play back to the 5. It will be 4th down and goal.
George McNaughton, number 19 for the Broncos, gets it in there, makes the tackle. He chased him a long ways, too.
So now Grand County with one final shot here, so the clock really not a factor. We are winding into the final minute of this ball game, but that'll be plenty of time for them to get this last attempt away here. So it's either going to be a touchdown right here for Grand County, or the Broncos are going to make a stand to end this game on their own goal line. Paris will roll out, looking to throw into the end zone. The ball knocked away by the San Juan defense, and the Bronco defense holds and keeps Grand County off the board for their 2nd touchdown, and it remains 62-7. And now the clock will stop, give San Juan a chance to get this football back on a change of possession, 49 seconds to go.
Trip Palmer out there at defensive back, gets right in front of that receiver and knocks that ball down.
So a big goal line stand for the San Juan Bronco JV defense. And now the offense will take over, and very likely Jayton Knight will just down this one here to close this game out. The clock has already resumed, and so we're down to just half a minute to go. I don't even know if they have to snap the ball here.
Here's the thing with San Juan. They like to do that deep down it.
And they do.
Good
thing he wasn't standing in his own end zone. That would have been awful.
So I was going to say, you got to make sure you're outside the goal line.
Well, there you go. That's going to do it. As San Juan downs the ball on their 1st down play right here at their own 1. And we will tick it down. It's going to be a 62-7 final. So San Juan continues to set a new school record for wins in a row. Each victory they collect. And tonight, another convincing victory as they rip the cannon one final time here tonight. 62-7 is the final. It could have been a lot worse, and it could have remained a goose egg if San Juan had wanted to drive up the score tonight, but they bring the JV in for the entire 2nd half in back-to-back games here. And that is the way San Juan closes out their home games here in the regular season. They would not play here again until October 27th in the 2nd round of the 2A state tournament. Delta will close out the season next week, as we'll get back on the road. But that will do it for regulation here tonight. We're going to take a break. We'll come out with some final game stats here in just a minute as we begin the Friday Night Lights post-game show. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, Our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009. Blue Mountain Hospital is offering in-hospital and at-home dialysis, advanced sleep study clinics, pain management, hip and joint replacements, and cutting-edge radiology, including 3D mammograms. We're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals.
Post-game show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the San Juan Broncos win it going away once again this season, 62-7. They've just absolutely been demolishing their 2A South opponents this year. Nobody has anything for San Juan in this region. I think it's going to come down to the playoffs before anybody has anything at all for San Juan. We'll see against Delta next week. Of course, the Broncos cannot afford to look past any opponents, but man, they are just running roughshod through everybody this season. Let's take a look at some final game stats here tonight in this 62-7 demolition of Grand County. It's what we expected tonight. And Parker Snyder never came back in that second half. He finishes the night 15 of 17 with 300 unofficial yards passing tonight, 5 touchdowns for the senior quarterback. And none of the starting receivers got a chance to get any more stats in the second half either. So here's how it finishes. 140 yards on 4 catches for Javen Montella, 2 TDs for the junior. 70 yards on 3 catches for Brigham Nielsen and 1 touchdown. 50 yards on 5 catches and 1 touchdown for Jake Ivins. Let's see. Owen Adams came on in the second half and caught the ball 1 time for 6 yards. That was Jayton Knight's only completion tonight. Let's see. Running stats tonight. Zach Conway, unofficially, of course, ended tonight with 8 runs, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And it was 35 yards on a couple carries for Parker Snyder. Taylor Yummy Black got the 1-yard dive into the end zone for a touchdown back in the first quarter. That was impressive. And we are now joined by San Juan head coach Barkley Christensen. And Barkley, that type of stuff where you give Yummy a chance to score a touchdown is part of what makes you a good coach and makes it fun out here. I think we felt him land in the end zone all the way up here in the booth when he landed in the end zone on that stretch.
Yeah, we had to do it for him. He's got to be in some kind of record book. He started every single game from his freshman season. He hasn't missed 1 game, and so we need to count it up and look at, you know, how many kids have actually done that. But that same running play we ran to give him, we've been planning on it. He's been on the line grinding it for 4 straight years, and I've promised him ever since he was a freshman, if he keeps it out and plays every game, that we'll get him one at some point, and today was the day.
Well, so we were joking that you had all the rest of the linemen lining up, coming up to you. So, Coach, when do I get mine? When do I get mine? But that's the type of guy, you know, as coaches and as fellow players, that's what you like to see. You know, you got a guy who's a heart and soul guy like that, and who's given his whole himself, you know, to this program, and so he gets a much-deserved first rushing touchdown of his career tonight.
Oh, yeah,
that's
and you can
a
tell
highlight.
he's YouTubed running back highlights. He had the high knees, the ball reach.
And then he realized he wasn't going to make it until he dove, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we're happy for him. He was pretty pumped.
Well, Coach, you know, obviously you just continue to run roughshod over your region. You know, you continue to take care of business. It's just a difficult to defend offense once you guys get going. It's impressive to watch.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun. I mean, it is what it is. We play the games on our schedule. It's a process, like I mentioned to you in the pregame. You know, the ultimate goal is a state championship, and to get there, we got to play these games, and these games all equal out to what we're going to be at the end. So we got to play these games as hard as possible, and the kids do a good job of not overlooking anybody and showing up and ready to roll against whoever we play.
Well, you're just taking care of business. You're just calling plays. You're just running the offense. You're not trying to run up the score. I mean, if they can't defend you, that's not your fault. Is it tough? I know you want to improve. You want to hone your game. In a game like this where it's not much of a challenge, how difficult is this, you know, to get better come playoff time?
It's very difficult, and no disrespect to any of the teams we play, because I respect anyone that's out here, you know, playing football and putting in the work. Football's a hard sport, so respect to all the kids from Moab. It's a big school, and to only have 26 kids, it's sad to see, you know, so respect to those kids that are playing. So, no, I don't want to sound like being disrespectful, but, yeah, these games are hard because, you know, there's a couple perspectives on it. One perspective would say let off, like you say, and again, we're preparing for something much bigger, and so it's all a process, and we don't want to disrespect anybody, but at the same time, we gotta practice and get better for the ultimate goal.
Well, you maybe have some detractors saying, or some folks saying, how come you don't put in your JV earlier? Well, you can't play these games and have your varsity not playing. But
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough to only have them playing one half each week.
Right.
But even less than that would just be detrimental, I think, to the team.
And the JV kids have a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and so they don't need a million snaps either. So it is a hard balance. And yeah, we're not, like you said, we're not doing it to you know, rub it in or disrespect and put kids, you know.
Yeah.
We got to get better. And unfortunately, it is what it is. I guess you could look at it another way and say teams need to get better.
Well, you're going to go and finish the regular season next week on the road at Delta. A couple seasons ago, when you guys were heavily favored, Delta took you guys down to the wire. You had to come back in the fourth quarter to beat those guys. So this is obviously a team you can't look past. You know, they were down to Millard tonight, but they're going to give you more of a challenge than you had tonight. They're going to give you your best challenge in the last 3 weeks of the season. And then you've got a bunch of off days looming after that. So you'll have to go over there ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Yep, Delta. We all know what Delta's capable of. Tough players, coaching staff that demands a lot out of them. I've been going over to, you know, I think I've played Delta all 7 years I've been here, and it's always last year the Mud Bowl was kind of a different game, but it's always usually a battle with Delta. So, yeah, like you mentioned, the 2 years ago, those guys hit. They banged us up. It was a close game. And so, yeah, we're excited for next week to kind of end our regular season with a fun, and it's actually for the region championship, so it makes it even funner.
Yeah, and then like you said in the pregame, there's a possibility you guys would meet, at least from your perspective, back-to-back games into the regular season for you. Possible first matchup in the playoffs, a little home-and-home series type of situation. So.
Yeah, it could be, which will be interesting, playing a team twice in a row.
And that's not set in stone or anything, but
Right,
yeah,
right.
obviously I know you guys will go prepared and close out the season on a high note. So
yeah, that's our hope.
I don't know if there's anything else you want the listeners to know after senior night tonight, last home game in the regular season.
Yeah, I wish I had a roster right in front of me. We have 20 seniors and great leaders. They haven't lost. They haven't been a part of a loss on this field from their freshman year, which is cool. So they just punched their ticket to a 20-0 varsity record from their freshman to senior year, and just shows what a special group it is.
All right, Coach, it's fun. It's fun right now, San Juan football. You guys are taking care of business not only on the game field but on the practice field, doing the hard work that folks don't see other than the parents of the kids who are involved and the people who know what's going on behind the scenes. But what's going on behind the scenes is what makes what we see right now, where you guys are blowing people out left and right. So
exactly. Yep.
So,
A lot of hard work. They've earned this.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Good, solid win for you guys again tonight. We'll see you next week in Delta.
All right, thank you guys.
And that's Coach Christensen for the San Juan Broncos as his team takes care of Grand County tonight, 62-7 the final. We'll take one final break. We'll come back with some closing thoughts here tonight from the San Juan High School football field. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Is there any other finals or anything that... Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. One final time tonight. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's another blowout win for the San Juan Broncos, defending 2A state champions tonight, 62-7 over Grand County. They run the record to 8-0 on the year, 2-0 in Region 2A South region play, and of course their 33rd win in a row as well, which continues to set a school record for consecutive wins. This past week, they were also tied for the 9th longest active streak in the entire nation. So we'll have to pay attention to that. Just tune in to the San Juan record this week. I always try to recap those and keep people up to date unless nothing really changes on that. We've had a couple teams drop out of that list this year. And what's interesting is I've got some family in Milledgeville, Georgia, and those guys currently own the second longest active streak in the nation at 55. So it's going to take a while for San Juan to get there. And, of course, the all-time longest winning streak in Utah State history is 48, set by Duchesne a few years ago and then matched by Corner Canyon a couple seasons ago. And so San Juan's got a lot more wins to go. And, of course, they know they've got a lot more season to go. Not only do you have next week at Delta, but then 3 playoff games looming. So still a lot of work to be done, and it starts next week in Delta. As you know, after tonight, Coach Barkley Christensen is going to be right on the video, seeing what they can improve and seeing what they need to do next week.
Next week is with Delta. Delta, you know, they're going to have more numbers on their team. They're going to have some bigger kids, and so I think next week you're going to see San Juan having to hit a little harder, hit their blocks a little better, and kind of refine some stuff. Now, that game may come down, you know, hopefully for San Juan at the end with a W. But I think overall next week, hopefully for these varsity starters, will be a much more competitive game throughout the 4 quarters so they can stay in and get those 4 quarters. Because people don't understand, and you talk with Coach Christian about, you know, starters playing half the game. There is a practice, you know, shape and a game shape and a game speed. It just, things are different under the lights. Things are different in between the 4 quarters than you can ever simulate at practice. And unless you've coached or, you know, been an assistant, you just don't understand that until you actually get in practice and then you get in a game, and things work differently in a game. And that's where you refine and where your players get better. And if you can't have those 4 quarters, then you're missing out. And so I feel for the San Juan players, because you get up big in the first half and you have to come out. but you need those 4 quarters to get that game speed and that game momentum going into the next week and the next week. And it may not show up the next week, but it's going to show up at some point, because at some point you're going to have to play 4 quarters. And only playing a half of football doesn't get you in that game shape. So you need to have 4 quarters. So hopefully next week at Delta, it's a more competitive game. But like Coach Christian said, kudos to Grand County and their kids, showing a lot of heart coming out here. And they didn't, once they were able to play against kids, I think more aligned with them, they were able to find some little successes and put 6-7 points on the board. So, you see that good for them, and they deserve that, because you hate to have teams not ever get in the end zone and experience that after a long week of practice. But San Juan needs 4 quarters of play, especially with the bye week, especially with a bye in the first round of the playoffs. They need a 4-quarter game next week.
Yeah, the real question is going to be not only after next week, you need a strong game, like you said, next week, because then it's going to be a 3-week period before San Juan plays again after next week. And so it'll be really interesting to see, and that's going to be the story, how they can come back from those 20 days off and go right into the playoffs. So obviously they've done that before. They've had that bye week in the first round, but they haven't had a bye week in the last game of the regular season. So I think that makes it a little bit more of a challenge, and we'll see, what this team is made of then, just coming, like you say, off practice speed for 3 straight weeks and see if they can get back to game speed right off the hop on October 27th.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, where they have 3 or 4 full teams out here, San Juan does. They do. They have we say the JV players, but they have 2 JV teams basically. The San Juan Broncos do. They have a varsity. They have their starters, obviously, but they have 30 kids that intermix within that JV squad that they call their JV. And so even though you're going to have a few weeks off in the middle there, a couple weeks, you're still going to be able to practice at full speed, knowing that you have to go against. You can cycle those defenses and those offenses against your starters and get them some good reps during those weeks. I think that's what's played into San Juan's hands the last couple of years, is you take a team that maybe only has 20 players on it, or 25, and you're talking about 7 or 8 freshmen, and you're just not getting good practice throughout the week. You just aren't. I mean, call it what it is. If you have 15 seniors and 15 juniors and 20 sophomores, and they're all varsity action players, most places, most of these kids that are second, third string are starters.
Yeah.
And so you're getting good practice, but it's just the game is different than practice, and hopefully San Juan go down there. And I wouldn't fault Coach Christensen one bit if the score's that lopsided, if he lets his varsity play all 4 quarters and maybe stop it at the 10 or the 20 and kick field goals. But those varsity players need some reps in the second half next week.
All right, well, speaking of next week, we're headed back on the road to Delta. We won't be back here at the San Juan High School football field until it's nice and cool in late October in the second round of the 2A state tournament. Thanks for joining us tonight. We may have another final.
Speaking of Delta, they are losing to Milford 20-26 right now.
Is it Milford or Millard tonight?
Milford.
Okay.
Yep.
So down to Milford, who has been a good team of late in the 1A ranks. But so that is next week's opponent for San Juan, having some trouble against a 1A Milford squad tonight. And so that'll do it for us here tonight. I want to say some thanks before we close it out, though, to all the sponsors who make the broadcast happen. Thanks to all the listeners and the viewers for joining us tonight. Thanks to the StreamUtah.Live crew here tonight, Caleb Carr and Cortland Lyman. And Cortland's going to be flying solo in a few weeks when we come back for that state tournament. So he's getting some training tonight, did an excellent job for us tonight. Thanks, guys, on the StreamUtah.Live side. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Again, it was a 62-7 final as the Broncos move to 8-0 on the season, win their 33rd in a row here tonight in their final home game in front of this home crowd in the regular season. We'll see you next week when we head to Delta for the San Juan Broncos to close out their regular season here in this 2023 high school football season in Utah. Until then, Red Sifford saying so long from San Juan High School on behalf of Art Adair. Have a great night and a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Health, Car Shop Auto Body, Colleen Kays, author of The 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, Red Mechanical, San Juan Building Supply, Flights Gymnastics, Northern Electric, Red Mesa Home Health, Emory Telcom, Napa Motor Parts, Creative Floors, San Juan School District CTE programs, Blue Mountain Foods, Energy Fuels, Palmer Sprinkling, Precision Rehab, Lee Contracting, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Holiday Construction, Quality Auto, San Juan Pharmacy, Canyonlands Tire, Diamond Propane, Knowles Home Furnishings, Red's Ace Hardware, Southeastern Utah 7-Eleven stores, Blue Mountain Hospital, Furniture Gallery, Dependable Auto Repair, Primary Residential Mortgage, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Four Corners Electric, San Juan School District Adult Education, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Bradford Tire, San Juan Counseling, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, San Juan Mortuary, Four Corners Homes, Utah Navajo Health System, Main Street Drugs, San Juan Credit Union, Tailor Made Wooden Heritage, and Innovation Medical Group. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.